Are you a coach who's tired of drowning in complex marketing strategies? Welcome to Simple Client Attraction for Coaches, the bite sized podcast that transforms how women coaches attract their ideal clients without the complicated systems or endless marketing tasks. I'm your host, Sandra Fidelis, and each episode I bring you straight talking conversations with successful coaches and industry experts who share their most effective and simple client attraction strategies. Subscribe now and discover how to fill your practice with dream clients in less time than it takes to enjoy your morning coffee. All right, so today we have Jenna Faith, who is a business and AI strategist for online entrepreneurs and personal brands. She works with high achieving women to remove their visibility blocks and leverage AI so they can earn more without burning out. And over the last 10 years, she has worked with over 4,000 paying clients and has generated more than 5 million in revenue. Jenna has been featured in over 250 publications, including Business Insider, Inc., Fast Company, Forbes, and more. So welcome, Jenna.
I am so happy to be here.
So today we're going to be talking about the no hustle client magnet, attracting high ticket buyers without living online. And over the past probably like year and a half, 2 years, you've made this shift from, working with women coaches and visibility, and you have gone all in on AI. In fact, y'all should check out her AI photo shoot program, which is absolutely life changing. So I know that we're going to be sharing your school community, and people are going to be able to get to that. But tell me a little bit about why do you feel the women that you work with, the entrepreneurs that you work with, overcomplicate client attraction, and what's the first step that they should focus on instead?
I feel like there's just so much information online. And, as a high achiever, as somebody who's like super ambitious, like we want to do everything, right? We want to do everything. We want to make sure everything's right. But in terms of complicating it, I feel like we just want to, like, we feel like we have to work really hard in order to get paid, whether that's something that, we were taught when we were younger, how we grew up, or just being in online for so long. It's almost like if it's too easy, is it really worth it, right? Like, should
Yeah.
we really get paid for this if it only took me, this amount of time to create it? Or can I create something once and then get paid for it over and over again? So there's just like a lot of mindset things. And to answer the second part of that question, for me, that is the key. It is the mindset and the identity of really just becoming the person who attracts the clients versus like, I have to do all of these hacks and tricks and templates and I got to write my post the correct way. For me, it's just like who you are. And if you focus more on who you are and how you are presented online, that's when the clients really come in. And the templates can go out the window. It doesn't matter, the way that you have to write your landing page doesn't matter either because you're attracting people on the front end just based on how you present and who you are online.
Absolutely. And so with that comes the piece that you help, women with, which is the automation, right? So how does this automation piece and the systems that you help them create play in freeing up space to actually attract clients instead of, feeling like you're always chasing after clients?
Yeah, I think most people are in the chase, when's the next client coming? Where do I get them? How do I get them? Who's going to pay me? It's like we kind of trip ourselves up on those details versus just really looking at what can I do that is going to be repetitive for new people coming in, right? I feel like we also get stuck in the current situation or the current reality or the current audience. And nine times out of 10, it's like, why are we trying so hard to please these couple hundred people when there's literally thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people out there that would want your stuff if you had a consistent lead generation, if you had consistent content going out there. And not only that, but again, as somebody who's high achieving and ambitious, you may think you can do it all yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then you get stuck in that manual hustle. And I feel like that so zaps your creativity. It zaps your attraction, right? Because you're sitting there behind a computer trying to figure out tech. you're trying to do this admin stuff that really somebody else should be doing. And when it comes to the stuff that actually attracts the clients, showing up on podcasts like this, doing a live stream, doing those forward facing actual sales activities, you don't want to do them because you're
Yeah.
busy doing all of this back end stuff that could easily be automated, especially when it's
Mhm.
something that you're doing consistently over time. And honestly, like now that I'm saying it, I kind of feel like maybe sometimes people use that as a crutch or use that as like an excuse to not really show up the way that they're
Yeah.
supposed to show up. It's like, "Oh, I'm working. I'm working on the business or I'm doing whatever." And it's
Mhm.
stuff that does not move the needle and doesn't actually put them in front of clients.
Exactly. Yeah, the stuff that gets us in front of clients sometimes is really the uncomfortable stuff, right?
Yeah, so we want to avoid it.
Right, exactly. So let me just play on Canva or,
Yeah.
on chat. But speaking of AI, I know that you are like, the person online right now that I have seen has really like made this like you've created so many amazing tools, AI based tools to help people do this, right? To help them to get out of the exhausting cycle of client attraction, like normal client attraction that we've been working for the past 10 years, and really created systems. I've seen that you've actually created like different you've named the VAs, or you've named the AI assistants that you help your clients to create in their business. So can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I have a whole suite of AI employees that, yes, I've named. They all have really cool names. We have like Fiona, she's the funnel builder. We have Olivia, she's the offer oracle. So, with my, over 10 years of experience in the coaching industry, it's like the way that we need to use AI is very different than other industries, right? Like,
Yeah.
you hear a lot about, like, oh, have this automated, call person who's going to answer all your calls. We don't, that's not relevant to us. So,
Yeah.
everything that I create is like it's relevant specifically for coaches, course creators, and people who have an online business. And I really just thought about like what are all the things that you do on a regular basis, whether that's monthly, weekly, quarterly, you create offers, right? You have to come up with lead magnets, you have to build your funnel. So I literally thought about everything and created an employee for each one of those things. So if you don't want to hire a VA anymore, you kind of don't have to because you can have AI do it for you. However, a lot of people are still using it wrong because they're just going to chat or whatever and typing in
Yeah.
something random, right, that they found online, and it's not actually giving them the benefit of what AI can actually do. So the
Yeah.
employees actually are trained on, my methods, my formulas, and the way that, I've created offers for the past 10 years, selling over $5 million, the way that I've been able to, get clients and also create sales through my funnels. So it's all taught
Mhm.
on all of my methodologies, which is really cool.
Yeah, awesome. So what is the like what would you say is the belief that needs to shift if if coaches and other online entrepreneurs want to let go of this client attraction feeling exhausting, and really like being able to create a business that maybe is even a part-time business that they run?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really about just aligning with what you actually want. Again, I feel like there's just so much noise online that it's almost hard to really be like, is this really what I want or is this what I think I should want, right? So I think it's
Mhm.
aligning with like the type of business that you want, the type of lifestyle that you want, how many hours you want to work a week, and then leveraging these tools that are readily available to set the stage for that.
Absolutely. So I know that you have a free community that where you share free information, and you are really into school, right? School, the platform. And there is one, I mentioned it before, but there is one program that I think is like one of your best-selling programs, which was the AI photo shoot, which shows you how to create realistic AI images and videos. That one is amazing. That one is something that you guys really should check out. It is absolutely life-changing if you want to, have the image piece taken off, like the, photo shoots you don't have to do every month. That is one of her programs that I definitely recommend. So where can people get more information about you? Where can they, go get your freebies?
Yeah, definitely inside the school community. I know you're going to link it there. And we just hit 600 members. So we want even more
Yay.
people in there. It's really cool. You have access to a ton of free content, free courses and things that are directly in there as soon as you sign up. And then on a regular basis, I'm giving prompts. I'm giving like all kinds of free content as well to help you build your business, to leverage AI. And yes, you mentioned the AI photo shoot formula, which that definitely was one of my best selling things in over 10 years, which is insane. I think we've had 250 people buy it. Right now, it's
Excellent.
actually going through an upgrade, which is awesome because, as we know, AI is just advancing so quickly. So it's going to get even better.
Yeah. And what I love about you is that you actually like you're a couple of steps ahead of people, like when it comes to marketing, when it comes to now, being taking AI on to really help people scale quickly. You all are always like a couple of steps ahead of the trend, which is something that I really, really like about your work. Leave us with one nugget that you think is important about this conversation and, how to be a no hustle client magnet.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to the very first question, right? And just like really you becoming that person. I think we get so caught up in like, what do we have to do, or what strategy do we have to put in place, or how do we get the client? And we don't put enough emphasis on like who we have to become in order to do it. So, in my opinion, I feel like we should be spending just as much time on the inner work, on the mindset, on the identity stuff, as we are on the doing and the strategy and the things that we're actually putting out there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm definitely having you back on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Simple Client Attraction for Coaches. Want to launch your own interview style podcast? Grab the free Launch an Interview Style Podcast Guide at sandrafidelis.com/podcast guide, or point your camera at the QR code on the video to download. I hope today's bite-sized strategies have given you practical ideas you can implement right away in your coaching business. If you'd like to watch the video of our interview, then head on over to simpleclientattractionforcoaches.com. Did you find value in today's episode? If so, please share it with other coaches in your network who could benefit from these straightforward bite-sized strategies. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us. Until next time, remember, client attraction doesn't have to be complicated. Small, consistent actions can lead to remarkable results. I'll see you in our next episode with more simple strategies to help your coaching business thrive.